11 News starts with breaking news.
Major breaking news. Teachers and school staff across the state can now get vaccinated. Good afternoon. I'm Gordon Lesh.
And I'm Liz Kilmer. Governor Tom Wolf just announced teachers will have their own vaccination program. Channel 11's Aaron Martin joins us live at the breaking news desk. Aaron.
Well, Liz and Gordon, that news conference wrapped up within the last 10 minutes or so, and we got the details of what we've been reporting for the last 2 days. The teachers are now prioritized in the vaccination process. Here's what we learned and how this is going to work. Teachers, school staff, they will all now be able to get the vaccine beginning next week. This is going to be done through vaccination sites across the state. 28 intermediate units will be the ones that are in charge of actually administering this vaccine, which will then be done by the National Guard. This is something that has been in the works for a little while now. As we reported, the Joint Task Force with the governor's office has been discussing this for the last several days in order to try to get as many teachers back in the classroom as possible. The governor was optimistic, saying that he thought that this could all be in place and that teachers could return potentially as soon as the end of March. Now, given the number of doses that they're receiving, around 94,000, Johnson & Johnson doses, plus another 30,000 through the federal pharmacy partnership, that puts it at about 125,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine just this week. Around 200,000 teachers and staff are estimated to be needing this vaccine, so this could move very, very rapidly. Here's what the governor had to say about this move just a few minutes ago.
We have all decided to recommend that this Johnson & Johnson stream go to our teachers and school employees, public and private. That's everybody, teachers, bus drivers, staff, cafeteria staff, janitors, management.
Now, while this is happening for teachers and a lot of those staff, as you just heard the governor say, the difference is going to be at least who gets it first. The governor said the goal is going to be to prioritize those where learning loss is at the biggest risk. That would be people who have special education needs, as well as elementary school teachers, second language learners, things of that nature. They will be the first to get the vaccine through this rollout process. And as of right now, that is scheduled to begin next week. There is a lot to get into and a lot of details that we are working on right now. We'll have the full breakdown tonight starting at 5 o'clock. For now, we're live on the breaking news desk. Aaron Martin, Channel 11 News.
Aaron, thanks so much. And Pittsburgh Public Schools, along with Mayor Peduto and the Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers, immediately put out a statement thanking the governor for this move. So this just in, Mayor Peduto said, quote, Governor Wolf's wise decision to immediately vaccinate teachers will speed up the return of students to school, provide students the in-person attention they need after a full year away, and give teachers confidence that they can return to classrooms safely. The mayor went on to say Pittsburgh would help in any way it can. And more details now. Again, Governor Wolf says the Commonwealth will set aside the Johnson & Johnson vaccines for teachers. Pennsylvania is getting about 94,000 of them, as you may have heard Aaron say. That's so far, and then another 30,000 will go directly to Pennsylvania's pharmacies. The one-dose shots are already being distributed in some states. Drug maker Merck is helping Johnson & Johnson make the doses to speed up the process.
More breaking news. Capitol Police say they have intelligence of a possible plot by a militia group to breach the U.S. Capitol tomorrow. The intel released on the second day of a hearing on the January 6th Capitol riots. FBI Director Christopher Wray warned lawmakers that domestic terrorism is a quickly growing threat, with roughly 2,000 cases currently under investigation.
And now back to the race to vaccinate. President Biden says there should be enough vaccines for every American by the end of May. That's 2 months earlier than originally anticipated.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, but we cannot let our guard down now or assure that victory is inevitable. We can't assume that. We must remain vigilant, act fast and aggressively, and look out for one another.
And more details now. There are encouraging numbers to report. 25 million Americans are now fully vaccinated. That's about 8% of adults. The U.S. is now 4th in the world for vaccinations, and new nursing home cases have dropped 82% since peaking in December.
Well, it was anything but normal, but for the first time in nearly a year, fans were allowed inside PPG Paints Arena to watch the Pens. About 1,800 fans were at the game. They wore masks and were socially distanced as they cheered the Pens on to victory over the Flyers.
I'm looking forward to just going to the Pens game and seeing both teams. I haven't been to a Pens game in a while, so it'll definitely be an experience.
Seating was limited to pods of 2 and 4 to allow for social distancing. Fans were given suggested arrival times at gates to enter based on the location of their seats. The game restrictions were eased on Monday, and it gave restaurants little time to prepare for fans.
I didn't even know fans were even allowed in games today. I had no heads up of anything. I came into work today and it was just bang. It's good to see other people out here kind of getting to enjoy themselves again.
There are 20 home games left this season for the Pens. Some tickets are now on sale, and in about a month, PNC Park will welcome Pirates fans for opening day.
Well, no doubt we would all love to stop wearing the masks and to be able to walk into a restaurant without restrictions. Well, that is about to be the reality in Texas. Health experts, though, say it's way too soon. But nonetheless, the governor has decided to end the state's mask mandate and to remove all limits on the number of people allowed inside businesses so they can open at 100% capacity. Texans have mixed feelings about the relaxed rules.
I know everybody's anxious. I'm anxious, but I think a few more weeks, month, maybe whatever the number may be, shouldn't hurt anybody.
Woohoo! I'm about done with masks.
The new rules take effect a week from today. This comes just before the spring break holiday, and so experts are worried about major spread as people start to travel.
Pittsburgh City Council has approved a temporary ban on evictions. This comes days after a federal court ruled against a nationwide ban. The Pittsburgh ban will only be in place as long as the city declared emergency due to the pandemic stays in place. According to our partners at the Trib, this latest extension runs until March 16th. Council says 120 households have entered the eviction process since last week, and that's on top of the 180 already in the system.
All right, well, take a look at this. You may remember this video. It was from last year when traffic came to a halt on 5th Avenue in Oakland as a group of about 100 dirt bikers drove the wrong way through traffic. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond has new information on a plan to crack down on these off-road vehicles hitting city streets.
Pittsburgh police recently cited a dirt bike rider for heading the wrong way down the street right towards them. This is North Beatty. And on other neighborhood streets in the city of Pittsburgh, police report seeing as many as 200 people riding together on off-road vehicles. Pittsburgh police say it's dangerous and a real problem that needs to stop. Just look on YouTube and you'll find a number of videos showing dozens of dirt bikes and ATVs riding down streets, even interstates in the city of Pittsburgh. We covered this one that happened back in September in Oakland. Police say these flash mobs or ride-outs are happening all over the country, and some of these groups are taking their actions to new and alarming heights here in the city of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh police are partnering with surrounding jurisdictions to issue citations. Just last week, they issued 8.
And we want the riders to be safe, as well as our officers, as well as the general public. And so we will use different methods and different means to investigate and to prosecute those that are involved in these illegal ride-outs.
Pittsburgh police say they're using technology to put a stop to this. I was super curious about that and how it would work. I'm putting that part of the story together to share later on today at 5. Reporting in East Liberty, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
2 people escaped from a fire at a home in North Fayette. Take a look at the scene here, and you can see a lot of firefighters on the scene there on McNeese Lane. And a lot of smoke coming from that home, even after firefighters put out the flames. It appears as if the roof collapsed as well, but we know everyone who was inside of that house when the fire broke out managed to make it out okay. No word yet on what sparked it. Crews spent much of last night trying to remove a big rig that went down a long embankment in Westmoreland County. This is along Route 22 in Salem Township. Police tell us the truck went off the road after colliding with an SUV. Extra manpower was called in to help rescue the trucker. Both drivers were flown to the hospital.
Warmer temperatures today. Let's head on over to meteorologist Danielle Dozier. Danielle, I was outside about an hour ago. Felt great. Felt like finally spring is here.
Yeah, today will feel great, and then tomorrow we'll have a slap in the face. A reminder that it is still winter. Out there right now, lots of sunshine to enjoy, and the temperatures are going on up. 47 degrees right now in Pittsburgh, 45 in Greensburg. It is already 50 degrees in Beaver and mid-40s out in Washington. Those winds are a bit breezy today, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour right now, with the exception of Beaver and Indiana, just a little bit lighter. They will gust up to about 20 miles per hour through the day today. They will shift around to the northwest more so late evening as a cold front comes through the area. But before then, lots of sunshine and a temperature at 52 degrees. We do have some changes coming into the forecast tonight and through the day tomorrow, so I'll let you know what those are when I see you back in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Danielle. Thanks so much. Well, Pittsburgh is known for its 3 rivers, and there's a push to bring more people to the riverfront. New at noon, Channel 11's Mike Holden has more on a plan to build 2 parks right along the rivers.
It is truly one of the Steel City's prized treasures. We're talking all about the waterfront, which continues to drive people from near and far. And one local nonprofit says they have a bright vision for its future. Pittsburgh nonprofit River Life has its eyes on the prize. They want to breathe new life into the downtown riverfront. They sent out a survey and presented a preview of their Completing the Loop technical report. They explored the endless possibilities with 2 proposed new parks. The first park, called Sawmill Run Park, would go under the West End Bridge. The plan includes making it pedestrian-friendly with wider pathways and connections to the trail. The other would take shape at the former City Tow Pound in the Strip District below 31st Street. River Life says there is room for a park, outdoor activities, and even housing, and they can't wait to see what happens next.
The rivers are our regional calling card, and they really need to be our front door. They started on a vision plan 20 years ago to really reframe the regional orientation to the riverfronts. And so I think there's so many reasons to be excited about our riverfronts right now. They're teeming, as you know, with economic activity.
And River Life says they are still accepting feedback and would love to hear from you. In the meantime, we're now talking with local Pittsburghers about their take on this project and what they would like to see happen next. For Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting from the North Shore, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
A popular flea collar linked to almost 1,700 pet deaths, and even pet owners say they're getting sick. The reason it hasn't been pulled from store shelves.
Just the thought of potentially bringing something home that could devastate my family was really, really hard to deal with.
And yet she was one of the first in Pennsylvania to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Up next, why she says she was skeptical at first and what changed her mind.
And drivers caught on camera speeding around school buses. Why a local bus company is blaming the dangerous move on the pandemic.
The only thing I remember is sliding and hitting the guardrail. And after that, everything's black.
She's talking about a crash that left her and her boyfriend trapped upside down in their SUV in a creek. Megan Button was taking her boyfriend home to Latrobe on Monday before work when she hit a pool of water on Route 30. The SUV went over a guide rail, flipped, and landed in the Loyalhanna Creek. It had quickly started filling with water. Somehow, the two teenagers were able to walk away with only minor injuries.
I spazzed out, and they said that I must have broke a window because my hands messed up and that we both got out and we shouldn't have been.
It's amazing they were able to get out of there so quickly. Two strangers stopped and helped them get to safety after they started floating downstream. A second car also hydroplaned and landed on its roof just about 2 hours later in the same spot. Fortunately, that driver was not hurt.
All right, take a look at this. This video shows a car crossing the double yellow line and speeding by a school bus full of kids. This happened yesterday in Beaver County, and then moments later, that same car ignored another school bus. You see it there. That bus was stopped, but the car just flies right by it. But it's nothing new for that bus company. In fact, leaders tell us that driver has made a habit of that. Now they're trying to figure out who it is, all while there's a bigger issue. Our Michelle Newell explains how the pandemic is making drivers even more impatient.
Yeah, it's a major problem. A transportation company out of Beaver County has been seeing a significant increase in drivers just flying right by school buses or just being too distracted on their cell phones. So the company has been posting videos like this one to social media in an effort to spread awareness and identify some of these drivers.
And they just come through.
There have been so many close calls over the years.
You're going to see the Amazon Prime truck just kind of go through. We have 4,800 kids that I feel that they're all my own.
That's exactly why the owner of Fry Transportation Group is so passionate about putting a stop to drivers who don't put the safety of school buses first.
It's nerve-wracking. It's certainly nerve-wracking.
A school bus camera captured this driver fly right by two school buses on Dutch Ridge Road in Brighton Township.
This particular vehicle on the same stretch of road did something very similar on Friday of last week.
The driver was going so fast, security cameras were unable to capture the license plate. Fry's team alerted police and the school district about it.
This is another bad one.
They also posted the video to Facebook, hoping to get help from the community. But Fry says the overall issue is the recent increase in impatient drivers. More students are going back to school. Routes are becoming longer because CDC guidelines have to be followed.
It's taking overall longer to get everybody in their seats and get all the vehicles, moving to the next stop.
Fry wants drivers to understand that we're all in this together and we should all work as a team to keep students safe.
We've all been home for many, many months. We're all eager to get out, but again, patience and please awareness, because we have a lot of students out there on foot walking to and from bus stops, walking to and from school.
Michelle Newell, Channel 11 News.
A Butler County pig farmer is facing a list of felonies. Our partners at Butler Radio report that Larry Lint filed 3 separate insurance claims in 2016, saying hundreds of his animals escaped from his farm. Nationwide Insurance paid him $71,000, but an investigator later found no evidence of any animals escaping. Natural gas is running again through the Revolution pipeline. This is a 40-mile line that crosses Butler, Beaver, Allegheny, and Washington counties. And you'll remember this video from 2 years ago. That pipeline separated after a landslide, and that caused gas to escape down a hillside and burst into flames. A house was destroyed, and so were several cars. Last month, the company signed a settlement with the state DEP, and it includes a $125,000 penalty and a plan to stabilize other steep hills in the area.
A new study suggests more people are suffering from alcohol withdrawal as a result of the pandemic. Researchers looked at nearly 1,200 patients who suffered from it while in the hospital, either before or during the pandemic. Well, they found that rates of withdrawal increased by 34% between late March and early September of last year when compared with that same period in 2019. And we're just 2 weeks away from St. Patrick's Day, but the CDC is urging people avoid parties and large gatherings. You may be sick of hearing it, but they recommend people celebrate virtually once again. If you're going to get together with folks from outside your household, they say wear a mask and socially distance. Meantime, Pittsburgh did postpone its big St. Patrick's Day parade. They made that choice back in January. Organizers hope, though, to have some type of event downtown later this year.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Well, we have that beautiful sunshine to enjoy out there today. Make sure you have your sunglasses before you head out. 47-degree air temperature right now in the city, and the wind is a little bit on the breezy side, so we do have a wind chill factor. It's 42. West-southwest winds right now at 10 miles per hour, so if you are heading out, grab the jacket. I think you're going to need it throughout the rest of the day. Even though the temperatures are going to be going up into the 50s, it's because of the wind. It's going to make it feel cooler. This is a look at our hour-by-hour wind forecast. Here at the 2 o'clock hour, winds I think will be up around 10 to 15 miles per hour sustained. We could have an occasional gust to 20. Then they're going to come down later on this evening. So here's 6 o'clock. You're going to notice those winds right around 5 to 10 miles per hour on average. Here's a look at our walking forecast later on today. We're going from about 47 with full sunshine to 51 at 3 o'clock this afternoon. The forecast high is 52, so we'll get to enjoy an above average day. We should be in the lower 40s this time of year. And by 6 o'clock, we're at 50, and I think we're going to have a few clouds around building in as we head into late day and evening. We talked a little bit about that a little bit earlier. Now, we also have a cold front coming in, and that's also going to allow for the clouds to build in from the north later on tonight. And also, there's a chance for a few flurries that could make their way out of some of those clouds overnight tonight as that cold front passes. So a temperature will be down to about 30 degrees, not too bad. We were in the mid-20s this morning. To put it in perspective, the winds will come down, so they're going to be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But yeah, don't be surprised if you see a few flurries overnight tonight. In the meantime, Storm Tracker shows the beautiful sunshine today, and then here come the clouds later tonight. Those clouds will be thickening up during the overnight period, where again we could have a few flurries passing through those as the air turns a little bit colder with that cold front. We start the day Thursday with those clouds, as you see, and there are signs that we will decrease the clouds for some sunshine as the day wears on Thursday. However, Thursday will be a colder day, and it'll be an even gustier day, so I'll have a look at the wind forecast for tomorrow and the wind chills for tomorrow coming up in the next half hour. Tomorrow, the air temperature, though, 38 degrees, and will decrease the clouds, and winds could gust up to about 25 miles per hour throughout the day. 5-day forecast, and down to 18 by Friday morning. Friday afternoon is 38, and again, the weekend is still looking fantastic if you have any plans outdoors. Just a little bit on the chilly side with high temperatures in the lower 40s.
A popular flea collar linked to almost 1,700 pet deaths, and even pet owners say they're also getting sick. Coming up, the reason it has not been pulled from store shelves.
And a lot of people had to cancel their vacations last year. Why you should check your travel vouchers now if you're making new plans.
Welcome back. Well, as we told you, Governor Tom Wolf lifted travel restrictions earlier this week, and it got a lot of us thinking about vacation. I know I was. But for some, you'll have to act fast because travel vouchers from canceled trips could soon expire. So if it's been a while since you glanced at your voucher, you might want to find it and read the fine print. Figure out if the expiration date is when you need to book your new flight by or the date you need to travel by. It might also be worth giving customer service a call.
The airlines have actually been quite flexible with extending your vouchers, but only for people who ask to have them extended.
That's good advice there. So a lot of airlines are still waiving their change fees too, but that's expected to change as more folks start to travel.
An important message for pet owners. The EPA says a popular flea collar may be harming you and your pet. The agency has more than 75,000 complaints about pets getting sick after using the flea and tick collar Seresto. Nearly 1,700 resulted in a pet's death, and 1,000 people blame the collar for their own illness. The collar is designed to release small amounts of pesticide onto the animal for months at a time. The EPA has not issued a recall because they say you could find ways to reduce your risk on the product's label. A spokesperson said that no pesticide is completely harmless.
It's kind of crazy. No, they shouldn't be working.
And yet only Channel 11 found out a borough worker charged with theft is back on the job in a new role. Coming up, how council members are trying to justify this.
Bars and restaurants have had their world turned upside down. Now help is on the way. We'll tell you where that $145 million is going and how businesses could apply for help. Governor Tom Wolf says he's considering easing restrictions for bars and restaurants as more people get vaccinated and the weather gets warmer. But he didn't give a timeline or specify which restrictions may be lifted. Those restaurants will need relief money to get through the next few months. And Channel 11's Jillian Hartman found out how much money each county in our area is getting and how they'll use it.
Well, right now, almost every restaurant is struggling to get by, including Chop Shop here in downtown Butler. The owner tells me there's a missing ingredient that can help his small business stay open.
I definitely think that funding is an issue, for sure.
For almost a year now, restaurants have faced shutdowns, several restrictions, and fear of closing down for good, not knowing what the future holds.
As if we're uncertain, that means our guests are probably uncertain. And if our guests are uncertain, they're not coming in to spend money.
But now some relief is on the way from the state to help restaurants, bars, and hotels impacted by COVID-19.
Many businesses, especially in the hospitality industry, this has been really, really tough. And their bottom lines have probably been hurt as much, if not more, than any other business.
Governor Tom Wolf announcing small businesses can soon apply for the $145 million in funding through the COVID-19 Hospitality Industry Recovery Program. The grant money was recently distributed to all 67 counties. In our area, here's how much each county received based on population. Eligible small businesses can receive between $5,000 and $50,000 to help pay bills and staff.
It's going to be a way that we can help take care of our staff that stuck with us through coronavirus.
In a one-on-one interview, the new state treasurer tells me this money can be a tremendous help during these challenging times.
These folks are hurting due to this pandemic and the arbitrary inconsistent shutdowns by the governor and the Department of Health. So they're finally going to get some of the relief that they need.
To qualify, businesses must have fewer than 300 full-time employees. Additional qualifications are listed on WPXI.com. Now, every county must have applications made available no later than March 15th. Final decision on who gets the grant money and how much are due by July 15th. Reporting in downtown Butler, I'm Jillian Hartman, Channel 11 News.
Jillian, thanks. And good news for veterans. The Butler VA healthcare system has lowered the minimum age for anyone who wants to get the vaccine. So now any veteran who is enrolled and is 55 or older can sign up. You can make an appointment online or over the phone. And meantime, Pennsylvania lawmakers slammed state leaders for the vaccine rollout when it comes to seniors. Advocates say the current system of website and phone registration is confusing, frustrating, and complicated for so many. Well, the Department of Aging says another program is helping older people make appointments to get their vaccines.
We're working to find out how a driver is doing after a crash in North Versailles. When we pulled up at around 1 this morning, the car was being towed away from 3rd Street. Our photographer said it looked like the driver hit a tree there. There was front-end damage to the car. The driver was taken to the hospital. 7 people were forced out of their apartment after a fire in Washington County. We brought you this story yesterday at noon. Chopper 11 was over Ewing Street in Washington when heavy smoke billowed from that building. The fire chief says one of the residents woke up to find his space heater on fire, and the flames spread through the building, leaving a hole in the roof and damaging several other units. That fire became too dangerous, and firefighters had to fight the fire from outside the building. 3 people had minor injuries.
All right, warmer weather today, but it won't last forever. Cooler temperatures are on the way. Meteorologist Danielle Dozier has her forecast in Severe Weather Center 11. Danielle, today might be the day to get outside.
Yeah, today's fantastic, Liz. We've got plenty of sunshine expected. Dog walking forecast shows 52 degrees at 5 o'clock with beautiful sunshine. We do pick up a little bit more cloud cover as we head into late evening and especially overnight tonight. Temperature right around 8 o'clock, 48 degrees. Now, the winds will be picking up again tomorrow, so I promise that wind forecast for the day and the wind chills. Look at the winds in the morning, 10 to 15, and I think they could be sustained up around 20. That's the yellow shaded color there. Gusts could be even higher tomorrow to about 25 miles per hour. That's going to put the wind chill down in the lower 20s in the morning tomorrow and then mid to upper 20s the feels like in the afternoon. So it will be a colder day and it'll be a gusty day on top of that. Now coming up, we'll take a look at the suncast, how many hours of sunlight we're going to have, or sunshine I should say, over the next few days, and we'll take a look at why we are turning colder as we round out the week. Guys.
Sounds good, Danielle. Thanks. And only Channel 11 is learning about continuing issues reported within a local borough. So recently, several sources reached out to me saying that an employee accused of unemployment fraud in Homestead is back at work earning money with your tax dollars. This comes as the borough also just settled a lawsuit filed in federal court.
It's kind of crazy. And
reaction from Homestead locals on the latest reported dealings within the borough. Right now, an employee facing criminal charges from the state attorney general's office is back at work. Earlier this year, we told you exclusively that Shantae Parms was working as a code enforcer when she allegedly ripped off the unemployment system. She was suspended but has now returned and in an administrative role. We asked the borough's solicitor for an explanation. He told us in part that this is temporary as, quote, counsel felt at this time wherein Ms. Parms has not been found guilty of any crimes that she could remain employed, albeit in a strictly limited role.
anybody being dishonest and collecting money that, that's not rightfully theirs, or, trying to scam the government, no, they shouldn't be working.
Parms is apparently related to a council member. Her alleged unemployment fraud was first brought to light in a federal lawsuit we reported last year. Former borough manager Lauren Zhang claims she was fired for being a whistleblower on that matter, and another in which then council president Louise Benton apparently hired her own son for a construction project. A settlement in that suit was just reached. Court records we obtained show that Zhang agreed to dismiss individual council members from the suit, but the borough itself agreed to pay her $141,000. That money, according to the solicitor, will be paid by their insurance. And Parms, the employee charged with theft, is set to have her preliminary hearing today in just a couple of hours. We'll be sure to stay on top of that case and any developments within Homestead. And more people are shopping online, so online stores are getting more returns. But up next, why you could miss out on big deals if you return too many items.
With more people shopping online, there are obviously more online returns.
Our consumer advisor Clark Howard explains what could happen if you return too many things.
The last year, a lot more of us are doing a lot more online shopping than we have in the past. And with that comes the right to try things out and send them back if you don't want them. But here's the dirty little secret. Retailers hate you when you return stuff because it costs them so much money. So now more and more retailers are doing a profitability score on you as an individual. And if you return things too often, there are a lot of deals that other people may be offered that you're not going to be offered. You're not sure which size you are, so you buy 3 different things knowing you're going to return 2 of them. That's not going to work for much longer. So think about it from the retailer's perspective. If you return a bunch of stuff, you cost them money instead of make money. So be careful when you order something. Really think through, do I really, really want it? I'm Clark Howard.
Plenty of sunshine out there today. Coming up, I'll let you know how long the sunshine lasts, and we'll take a look at that colder air and why it's coming into the forecast.
Just the thought of potentially bringing something home that could devastate my family was really, really hard to deal with.
She was one of the first in Pennsylvania to get the COVID-19 vaccine. Up next, why she says she was skeptical at first and what changed her mind.
There is no other virus, no other germ that has devastated the globe as much as SARS-CoV-2.
And that's what drove this doctor to get the COVID-19 vaccine. She was one of the first people in the state to get it and documented her symptoms every day on social media.
But she tells Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond, like a lot of people, she at first was skeptical.
Peel back this mask and meet Dr. Sylvia Owusu-Ansah, 42 years old, a wife and a mother to 5-year-old Samantha and 13-year-old Sierra.
and they had cake.
Oh, yeah, the sweets.
Yeah.
Sylvia loves her girls. She also loves taking care of her patients. She's a pediatric emergency physician and the EMS medical director at UPMC Children's Hospital.
And just the thought of potentially bringing something home that could devastate my family was really, really hard to deal with, because you want to go to work and be able to focus on your patients. But this particular virus kind of shifts your thought process, and you feel like you're almost a little bit selfish for thinking about yourself or your family, but it's a reality.
A real and raw struggle for months. Then on December 14th, Sylvia became one of the first doctors in Pennsylvania to receive Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. Each day she documented her symptoms on social media. I am still here. Full transparency, day number 2 post-vaccine. Muscle aches and pains with left arm soreness.
And definitely by like day 4 or 5, I was feeling back to my normal self. For that initial vaccination, I felt really, really good.
And day number 11, you can see how I'm feeling on this dance video with family. Fast forward to day number 22. Sylvia received her second shot on January 5th.
A couple hours later, I started to feel some left arm soreness. And then exactly 12 hours later, I started to have really bad muscle aches and chills. But I felt stiff, like I couldn't move for about a couple of hours. I took some ibuprofen again, and then I felt back to myself, literally within a couple of hours.
Sylvia says she felt worse after the second dose. So did a majority of her coworkers.
And so the immune system is further revved up and does the things that it usually does when we get sick.
Sylvia wants people to ask questions and do their research. She certainly did.
I will be the first one to say that I was a skeptic in taking the vaccine, and I kind of wanted to watch and see what was happening. But then in looking at the entire picture, there is no other virus, no other germ that has devastated the globe as much as SARS-CoV-2.
And she hopes people start trusting the science.
And now my goal is to help everybody else in getting the vaccine, whether that be changing their perception or physically getting it. You know, when we think about solutions, let's work together between the vaccine, our public health initiatives to get rid of this villain.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
And Alyssa tells us the doctor has also been very active in trying to build trust for the COVID-19 vaccine within the African-American community. She's already hosted several virtual town halls on that very topic.
Dolly Parton got a dose of her own medicine, and she's urging everyone to get the vaccine as soon as they can.
Vaccine, 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 vaccine. I'm begging of you, please don't hesitate.
You may know that melody as Jolene, but Dolly modified one of her greatest hits after she got the Moderna vaccine in Nashville yesterday. Last year, the country's superstar donated $1 million to coronavirus research, and some of that money went toward the development of the Moderna vaccine at Vanderbilt University Medical Center.
But anyhow, I just wanted to encourage everybody, because the sooner we get to feeling better, the sooner we are going to get back to being normal.
Dolly Parton chose to donate to Vanderbilt to honor her friend, a Vanderbilt professor of surgery, and he also gave Parton her first dose.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Plenty of sunshine out there today. The temperature still stands at 47 right now. Wind chill is at 42 with a wind out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour. We're in the mid-40s out east in Greensburg and Indiana, Washington the same, but we're up to now 51 degrees in Beaver, so that's feeling nice. You're going to need your sunglasses. To the day today as the temperature climbs to 52 with lots of sunshine. I've got a few clouds in the graphic only because I think by late day and evening we could start to see a few clouds build in, especially more so toward tonight. We're actually going to be mostly cloudy overnight tonight. Southwest winds will shift around to the northwest later on today and into the evening as a cold front approaches from the north. That's what's going to build the clouds, and that's also what's going to be bringing us a slight chance for some flurries, especially overnight tonight. Gusts today could be up to about 20 miles per hour, by the way, so a bit of a breeze. Here's a look at our suncast over the next 4 days, and today we are good to go with lots of sunshine. And once we get into Thursday, again, we are looking at clouds beginning the day and then decreasing in coverage. Friday and Saturday look to bring a lot of sunshine to the area. Overnight tonight, upper 20s to low 30s. Just to put it in perspective for you, this morning we had a low down to 26, so it'll be chilly but not as cold, with a low down to 30 in the city. 31 out in Greensburg, and the expected low into tomorrow morning in Indiana, about 30 degrees. Our storm tracker maps show plenty of sunshine for the rest of the day. Those clouds again thicken up late tonight and will continue overnight tonight. As I mentioned, there could be a stray flurry or two coming out of some of those clouds as we head into overnight and early tomorrow morning, but they will give way to sunshine as the day wears on Thursday, and you'll need your sunglasses, I think, by the afternoon. The difference between today and tomorrow is tomorrow it's going to be colder. So yeah, that cold front is coming in from the north, and so 38 degrees for the air temperature tomorrow, and a little bit of a gust up to about 25 miles per hour out of the northwest. The northwest wind is a colder wind for us, so we are looking and anticipating the temperatures in the mid to upper 30s across the region, with 37 in Washington, 35 in Beaver, 36 in Greensburg, 38 degrees in Uniontown. Now, I did mention that it's going to get colder. A lot of the reason has to do with this low pressure system at upper levels of the atmosphere, and we get a counterclockwise wind flow around a low pressure. So what's going to happen is it's going to reinforce the northwesterly wind and that colder air coming down from Canada as we head into the end of the week and into your weekend. So the 5-day forecast shows 18 by Friday morning, Friday afternoon only 38, and then low 40s for highs as we head into the weekend. But we're getting closer to average once again as we head into Sunday.
Hey guys, you know what a difference it makes to have the right tool for the right job, right? One of the tools that we use every day, and it makes a huge difference in our quality of life, especially in the kitchen, is great knives. These knives are beautiful, and I love the fact that we always like to bring you special things at special prices. This is actually something you're only going to find with Local Steals and Deals right now, and it's beautiful. These are Japanese carbon forged knives. That's the tradition that really makes a really beautiful knife set. So years ago, I went to Japan, I went to Kyoto, I went to a little shop in the marketplace that used to make samurai swords, and I got 2 knives. After all this time, they're still the only knives I use. The quality of that is amazing. This is that kind of heritage and quality, and I love all the different options. So you have the Santoku set. Look how beautiful it is, full tang, gorgeous handle, beautiful gift box. Here's your 4 steak knives. Here is your 3-piece chef knife set. Here is your bread knife and utility knife. That's another great set. The Nakiri knife, that's serious, right? And we have a knife sharpener. We have the block, and this has the rods. Huge difference, by the way, because when you put your knives in a regular chef block, you do not know what's growing down there. This is going to be something that works for all knives, and it's dishwasher safe. This is something that's actually made by Caloric. They're a company that's been around for about 90 years. They do fabulous quality. And this knife set is that Japanese carbon forged, and I love the whole idea of it. It even has this cobra design on the blades, which actually helps it go more smoothly through whatever you're cutting to make it an even better performance. These are all on localsteals.com at 27 to 38% off, and they're all going to be ways to make your everyday even better in your kitchen. And that's something that's going to make your food even better.
Plans for a second area BJ's Wholesale Club are moving forward. The store is being planned for the block Northway on the site of the former Northway Elementary School. BJ's is similar to a Sam's Club or Costco. Construction has already started on the first BJ's in our area. Our partners at the Pittsburgh Business Times say the company's closed on a 10-acre site in Newberry Market in South Fayette.
Conneaut Lake Park has a new owner, and the day trip destination for a lot of folks in Pittsburgh is set to open for the summer. A developer bought the park for $1.2 million. The sale includes all the rides, the historic Blue Streak coaster, as well as the water park, beach area, the hotel, and the campground. The new owner intends to invest and improve the park.
Well, if a roller coaster isn't exciting enough, a Japanese billionaire has launched a search. He's looking for 8 people to join him as the first private passengers on a trip around the moon. He had originally planned to invite artists for the week-long voyage slated for 2023. In a promotional video released today, he said he had second thoughts, and now his project will give more people from around the globe the chance to join the journey. The entrepreneur is paying for the entire cost of the voyage on SpaceX's Starship. Pretty cool. That's it for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5.
Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine.